Good morning, everybody, and welcome. This is a phenomenal day today. On behalf of the University of South Florida System and Strategic Property Partners, we want to thank you for joining us on a very, very exciting morning. We want to welcome the members of the Florida Legislature who have joined with us in advance of their meeting, the Bay Area delegation meeting, and the Tampa Bay Partnership people are here as well. Thank you for being here. We're thrilled. This is such an exciting day. Let me ask all of the legislators, I know you've just sat down. Would you please stand up? Thank you so much. I want to welcome Florida Board of Governors Chair Maury Husseini. Is he here? There he is. And Governor Dick Beard, as well as the Chancellor Marshall Kreiser. If you're here, please stand, all of you. Thank you for being here with us. And we love and always want to thank our mayor, Bob Buckhorn, who promised to wear a green and gold tie today, but look what he has on. We also want to welcome House Speaker Will Weatherford, who was in this in the very, very, very beginning. Where are you, Will? Right in front of me. Okay, thank you. I'd also like to recognize our members of the USF Board of Trustees who have joined us this morning. Chair Hal Mullis, Vice Chair Brian Lamb, Trustees Debbie Sembler, Stephanie Goforth, Steve Mitchell, John Ramil, Nancy Watkins, Joseph Gurman, and Byron Shin. Would you all please stand, please? There we go. And a very, very, very special welcome to our namesake of the Morsani College of Medicine, our dear friends and true community icons, Frank and Carol Morsani. Here you are. Woo! And you know that Frank just finished his book called To Be Frank. And it's a great, great book. So, and don't worry, Jeff Finnick will be announced also. He is a very key, instrumental person in all of our lives. So Jeff, stand up, take a bow again before we introduce you. Well, today we come together with a new chapter for downtown Tampa and the incredible partnership that we have in helping our city and community reach its fullest potential. The USF Morsani College of Medicine and the USF Heart Health Institute will rise out of the ground here as one of the anchors of the development being planned by Strategic Property Partners, the joint venture between Mr. Jeff Finnick and Cascade Investment. And by working together on every level of state and local government across both public and private sectors, we are creating a vibrant center of learning and research that will eventually touch everyone's lives in the Tampa Bay region. At USF, we've always believed our highest calling is as a research university to create new knowledge and be an intellectual powerhouse for the region where we have world-class education and research, new discoveries that would empower our communities and elevate all toward a bright future. And our mission is to identify, cultivate, support talented individuals and leverage the resources of a great American research university, making life better for our whole community. And this location places the Morsani College of Medicine and the Heart Institute closer to our main teaching hospital, Tampa General Hospital, and it's within blocks of CAMLS, our Center for Advanced Medical Learning and Simulation. The greater connectivity creates a world-class learning, research, and training environment for our students, faculty, and staff. And this year, the Morsani College of Medicine had a huge 24% increase in applications. We do believe part of that is for its location that will be downtown. We had this past year 5,000 applications for 170 slots. Our new first year class of medical students has the highest average MCAT scores in the entire state of Florida. In the entire state of Florida. And just last week, the University of South Florida reached another significant milestone. We are now in the top 25 of all research universities that are public in the United States of America. Top 25. So we have the talent and we have the capabilities to shape the future. And now through our partnerships and collaborations that you see here, we know that there are no limits to what we can achieve. And our destiny is to be a city like no other, to put our head and hearts together, and to create a happier and vibrant future for all of the Tampa Bay area. So we are so appreciative to all of you that have played such an important role in your continued support. And I just want to say that we look forward together to making something quite amazing. And now I'd like to introduce the individual who has had the vision and brought us here today to make such a great, great future for the Tampa Bay area, Mr. Jeff Bennett.
Oh, no. Thank you. Thank you so much. For the record, as of this moment, Strategic Property Partners has built one tent. So while I appreciate the accolades, come on. You know, a visionary, when they put the Amalie Arena downtown, when they put the Tampa Bay History Center there, and the port there, and the aquarium, and the convention center, the Marriott Hotel, we are not the visionaries. We just came along, happened to buy the lightning at the right time, happen to have great mayor in place and legislators who are supportive of changing, hopefully, the trajectory of this city and this entire area. I don't think there's anything that brilliant in the vision. I think we're fortunate to get all the property, but we are also fortunate to work with great partners and great community members. Judy Genshaft from USF, our mayor, all the legislators in this area. And the fact of the matter is, you know, that standing ovation, appreciated on my part, that is for every face and every person that I'm looking at right now. Because to get the USF Medical School and Health Heart Institute to be where we're standing, and to get the other $2 billion of buildings and placemaking and water features and bike paths to get to be where they're going to be by the year 2020, it takes everybody in this, under this tent, and a bit outside this tent, and everybody in this community. So in terms of being visionaries and supportive and catalysts to make things happen, it's everybody under this tent and in this community who is to be thanked for being so visionary and supportive. We're all in this together. We're trying to change the trajectory, not only of our downtown district. If we have a reasonably good economic result out of this and get some vibrancy down here, you know, what have we accomplished? Not that much. The whole idea here is to lift this entire region as best we can, all of us together, to make this Tampa Bay area. I know, I moved here from the Northeast. This is a great place to be. It's a great place to live. It's a great place to work. This is an undiscovered gem out there. You don't find this in many places. Friendliness of the people, really unusual down here. How welcome one could be, how fast you can get integrated into the community. It is my job and all of our job to communicate this, because we are all together going to change the trajectory of all of this. So I thank everybody for being here. The other thing, very importantly, before we get off topic, the other reason I thank everybody is because this is now the first official kickoff celebration rally for the University of South Florida football team going bowling. So. Please allow me to, not literally, but to symbolically walk down around the side of the tent there and look down to the right and look down to the left. And let's peer ahead. We're in 2015. Let's give ourselves a cushion. Let's peer ahead to the year 2020. Beside the fact that we will be standing right now in the first floor of this grand new medical school for USF and Heart Health Institute, beside the fact that there'll be a companion office building down right to the right of it, mainly serving the healthcare profession, you will also be looking at least one and two 600,000-foot office building. You will be seeing bike paths. You will be seeing diversity and inclusion of all kinds of people. You will be seeing a new 500-room hotel. You will be seeing at least 1,000 residential units, retail, restaurants, entertainment, vibrancy, water features, public art, all which are required to turn an area into a district and to something that is a place where people want to, cliche but true, live, work, and play. That is what we have right around the corner. That is what we're so excited about working toward to be able to achieve. Now, I've got about 2 years in real estate, so it does make me dangerous, but so now, not only have we only built a tent, but you're looking at 2 years of real estate, which is why we're very close to hiring a CEO, I might add, as we go from planning stage to execution stage. But one thing I do know, and I think all of us know from real estate, is not only does location matter, but you need great anchors. And we are already fortuitous here. We have great anchors. We have the convention center. We have our arena, and I talked about these. We have the aquarium, et cetera, et cetera. But when we look at great anchors for our 40 acres of land, what better anchor is there than this USF School of Medicine? How much is this going to add to our district in terms of the energy level, students, faculty, water taxis going over to TGH, coffee shops where these individuals are coming together and great ideas are being shared and research is moving to the next level, going to restaurants. What better, we could not be more proud of having USF as the first major announcement, as our biggest anchor in this district. We have had a great partnership with this university from day one, our sports management partnership. We had the School of Architecture in our offices here last Friday. The whole senior faculty of the School of Architecture, we had a great morning of sharing ideas, how we could work together. The Tampa Bay Lightning Organization, myself, Cascade Investments, all our strategic property partners, we so value the partnership that we've put in place and grows by the day with Judy Genshaft and the University of South Florida. We are proud to be able to work with them, the trajectory of the university, the success of the application to the med school. We feel that in here, just like you do, Judy. We couldn't be more pleased of where we're going. So again, thank you all for coming out here and supporting this. We're all up here talking on this dais. We're all up here talking in front of these microphones because we're all so excited about where we're going, and it's everybody here that's working together to get us from here to an amazing place for USF, for the med school, and for our district and region. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And now we bring to the podium our great mayor, Bob Buckhorn. Come on up.
Jeff, you said 2020. I only have 1,240 days left. So we need to get this done before that happens. Thank you, Judy, and to all of you that are gathered here today, particularly to our legislative delegation, to the former Speaker of the House, Will Weatherford, to the Chairman of Appropriations, Sen Lee, to the Chairman of Appropriations in the House, Richard Corcoran, to the Governor, who understood that this wasn't about who's a Democrat or who's a Republican, that this was important for Tampa. And all of us joined together and put aside our differences and said, this matters. This matters for our community. Not my community, but our community. And that legislative delegation and the leadership of the Board of Governors recognized what this meant to us and what a transformative moment this would be for us. You know, 5 years ago, I asked this community to believe in the capacity of Tampa to be a great place. We were mired in the depths of the recession. Unemployment was at 12%, 4,000 homes in some state of mortgage foreclosure. We had been kicked to our knees. And out of the wreckage of that recession rose the renaissance of a great American city. And for the last 5 years, we have struggled, believing in each other, celebrating with each other in good times and bad, holding each other up in difficult times, but never losing sight of the ultimate goal, and that was to take our place on the stage of great American cities. And we're close. This is an important day for us. This is an important day for this region. This is where we stand up and say, we don't ask anybody's permission anymore. This is where we acknowledge that this is a city that if we put our minds to it, we can do absolutely anything we put our minds to. You know, my daughter asks me sometimes, Daddy, she says, Daddy, were you there in the olden days? And I say, yeah, honey, I was there in the olden days. But I want you to understand this. When they look back on this day, when our kids ask us what happened here today, we can tell them collectively. We can tell them that this was the beginning of Tampa taking its next step. This is the beginning of us turning that page on our next chapter. This is where we join together as a community, driven by the belief that we are better together, that we are stronger together, that we are more competitive together, driven by Jeff Vinnick's vision and his willingness to invest in us like we invest in ourselves. The willingness of USF to believe in what a downtown university could do for this community. The recognition that those young people right there and these residents in those little short white coats, that is the intellectual capital that will drive this community for decades to come. Our ability to attract them to come to a great university, but most importantly, to stay in this city, depends upon an urban environment that works, an urban environment that's alive 18 hours a day, a place where people want to be, where they don't need cars, where we celebrate that diversity as a strength. That will drive our economy. That will be the economy that will allow my two little girls to come home here someday. It begins today. It's the culmination of generations of work. But this is where Tampa turns that page. And I will tell you this, 5 years from now, they will not only look back on this day and say that was important, but they will look back and say, this is an amazing city. We won't recognize this place 5 years from now, folks. And this will be that place in America where the best and the brightest want to be. This will be the place that will attract that intellectual capital. This will be the place that can compete with any city in the globe. This, ladies and gentlemen, is where we stood up and said, it's Tampa's time. Thanks, everybody. Let's go dig some dirt.
Thank you. And now I'm very happy to introduce a person who has been a steadfast supporter of the Tampa Bay region and actually represents the University of South Florida, our own Senator Tom Lee.
Thank you very much. What a dubious distinction. I have to follow the mayor and all that energy. Mr. Bennett, you may not have built anything yet, but you've proven you can throw a party, I'll tell you. This is wonderful. I'm not sure what my role is here this morning. I basically came down here to get my shovel. We still use those out in Brandon. And I still have mine from the groundbreaking of the Leroy Selman Expressway when I was a much younger man. Mayor talks about the olden days, and I don't think that couldn't be more apropos this morning. It's 20 years to the day when I first announced my campaign for the Florida Senate in 1995. I knew little about politics and politicians, but I loved my community and I wanted to make a difference in it. Unbeknownst to many people today, I had spent several years prior to that as a member of the Hillsborough County City County Planning Commission. Just prior to me joining the Planning Commission, the last real large-scale retail activity in downtown Tampa had just closed. Through the mergers and acquisitions that had taken place in retail, Moss Brothers and Wolf Brothers were consolidated. There was a bankruptcy at the corporate level, and they left downtown Tampa. Much of the discussion at the time on the Planning Commission was how, as a city and a county collaborating together, we could plan the future of revitalizing the urban core and try to make it a livable place for people in Tampa. We're 25 years from that day now, and here we are talking about a collaboration between the resources that Mr. Bennett has brought to Tampa and the University of South Florida. And when I was approached about this project, I didn't need a sales pitch. I had the history lesson already. I remembered it well. And for someone who grew up in this community, who aspired to public life because he loved his community, to have an opportunity to be in the right position at the right place at the right time, to deliver back to his community, and create that perfect connection between my public service and the vision of our local community was a dream come true for me. So I'm privileged to be a part of this. The university system throughout our nation is one of the great economic engines in this country. And the University of South Florida, the University of Tampa, along with our port, our airport, MacDill Air Force Base, are no exception here in our community. We need to support those folks, and I really, truly believe, having spent now 35 years, I guess it is, in the home building and development business, and off and on about 20 years in the Florida legislature, having worked with many of the men and women in this room, I really believe that the University of South Florida anchoring downtown in this area is going to create wonderful synergies, clusters of opportunity for further economic activity, and is really truly going to create the sort of mixed-use opportunities that our community has been looking for to revitalize and fully develop the downtown area here in Tampa. A rising tide lifts all boats, so although I live in Brandon, a lot of the folks that I represent work down here, and I'm really grateful to be a part of it. I want to thank my Senate President, President Andy Gardner, the Speaker, House Speaker, Speaker Chris Foley, my counterpart in the appropriations process, Representative and soon-to-be Speaker Richard Corcoran, and the members of the Hillsborough County Legislative Delegation. This is a team sport, and we're grateful to have locked arms to try to make this happen today. Thank you all very much, and God bless you.
We have somebody here next who is really a champion for the state university system of Florida. He, through his leadership and chairmanship, has done so much for all of the universities and really has made a difference in how we are working for student success and working to bring the university system of the whole state of Florida to a whole new level. And I just want to say that Mr. Mori Husseini has been a champion for us, and I just am thrilled that he is here today, has flown in from the East Coast to be with us today to address us all on this very, very exciting project. Mr. Husseini, Chair Husseini.
I was asking Senator Lee earlier if the mayor is a Republican, and I was informed that unfortunately he's not, but maybe he's a Republican, he just doesn't know it. So, good morning. Thank you, President Genshaft and the USF Board of Trustees for all of your hard work that has brought us together today for this important dedication. It has long been the priority of Board of Governors to support higher education programs and facilities that provide the most return on investment for the state's economy, especially those in STEM and health field. The newest USF Health Morsani College of Medicine and USF Health Heart Institute exemplify that vision. President Genshaft, the USF Board, and all of their partners across the Tampa Bay community have made it easy for the Board of Governors to lend its support. President Genshaft, you did your homework. You and your board leadership took the time to meet with each and every member of Board of Governors and key staff on many occasions over the past couple of years to ensure we all had the opportunity to overcome. Well-informed and comfortable with this project prior to the board's vote. You put your heart and soul into this project, and we truly appreciate your commitment and diligence. I want to thank the legislative delegates for which, without your support, none of this would have happened. And I want to go off a script just for a second, and I want to talk about someone is not with the legislators anymore, so he can't hold it against me, and that's our Speaker, Will Weatherford. Honestly, thank you, Mr. Speaker, with the grace that you handled this. You were proactive, you wanted to see this project go through, but the way you handled it, the way you managed it, the way you let us do our homework, I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. I also want to personally thank Tampa Mayor Bob Buckhorn because he has done everything in his power to make this project a reality. Mr. Mayor, any growing city would be fortunate to have you as a mayor. Let me also extend our deepest thanks to Mr. Jeff Bennett for doing everything he could to make this project happen and for putting this community first and foremost. Tampa, you're in good hands with this kind of leadership at the helms. This project will be truly a transformative. It will provide optimal academic, research and career opportunities for our students, and very importantly, it will be an economic boon for the Tampa Bay region and indeed the entire state of Florida. This is what our state university system is all about. It has been my privilege to support this project during my time as chairman of the board. Congratulations, USF, and indeed all of Tampa Bay on this historic milestone. Thank you.
Our two final speakers are going to be the ones that make everything happen. We have a new Senior Vice President for Health, Dean of Medicine, also a National Academy of Science scholar, and he is bringing the University of South Florida College of Medicine and all of health to new heights. We have Dr. Charlie Lockwood, and following him is our illustrious, absolutely incredible Dr. Art Labovitz, who is going to be heading up the Heart Health Institute. So first, we have Dr. Lockwood.
Thank you very, very much. Good morning. Thank you, President Genshaft, for your outstanding leadership of the University of South Florida, and Mr. Vinnick for your vision and commitment to excellence. On behalf of USF Health, I am delighted to welcome you to the site of the new home of our Morsani College of Medicine and USF Health Heart Institute. We observe today a significant milestone in our academic health center's history. For today, we are one step closer to the creation of a new kind of medical school and research institute, which together will have a transformative effect on medical education and research, as well as the health and economy of the Tampa Bay region. It is truly a great honor and privilege to be surrounded by the wonderful people and gracious supporters who share our belief that the work being done at USF Health is absolutely critical to Tampa Bay's and our state's future. Thus, I'd like to take a few moments to express our gratitude to a few of those who have helped make this happen. We are extremely thankful for two of our medical school and university's long-term friends and steadfast supporters, Carol and Frank Morsani. For it is their philanthropic support which will have a lasting impact on our college for generations to come. We are also incredibly grateful for Jeff Vinnick's visionary leadership, tremendous generosity in enabling us to be part of this grand development project, and it will be a grand development project. And we are very fortunate that the University of South Florida's Board of Trustees, the Florida Board of Governors, Tampa Mayor Bob Buckhorn, the leaders of the Hillsborough County Commissioners, community and civic leaders, the state legislature, Will Weatherford, the governor, that they all recognize the value of this project to advance U.S. Health's academic and clinical missions. Together, we are building a medical school of the future, one that will allow us to educate future doctors in an era when medical education and knowledge, rather, doubles every 73 days. You just think about that. That will pioneer new discoveries and personalized therapies to allow people to live better and healthier lives, and that will see new standards of healthcare quality and outcomes while reducing healthcare costs. But the greatest impact of this project will be in the lives of our students, current and future physicians, researchers, and other healthcare professionals. The proximity of a medical school to its teaching hospital is crucial to its academic success. As currently situated, the Morsani College of Medicine is the only top 100 NIH-funded medical school in the United States to be located more than 25 minutes away from our primary teaching hospital. Thus, this move, both of our medical school and the future Cardiovascular Research Institute, to within 5 minutes of Tampa General Hospital our primary teaching hospital, where students do most of their clinical rotations and where our faculty admit most of their patients, is truly critical. It also means that our students and faculty will be in close proximity to the USF Health Camels facility and its world-class medical simulation capabilities and biotech incubator. And this downtown location is precisely where millennial medical students and young faculty want to be. And Madam President, I am happy to report that the 2015-16 admission cycle has already exceeded 6,100 applicants, almost 6,200 applicants for those 170 positions. So we are one of the most competitive medical schools in the country. We are thrilled to be part of an unparalleled opportunity to have a home in downtown Tampa. We look forward to partnering with you as we continue our trajectory of excellence to make the Morsani College of Medicine the future of medical learning and discovery and care. Thank you. And now our wonderful Chair of Cardiovascular Sciences and Co-Director of the Heart Institute, Art Liberal.
Thank you, Dr. Lockwood. Good morning. What a great day. I'm the final speaker, so I promise you that I will be brief. I'd like to join the speakers here today expressing my gratitude for the vision and generosity of those that helped this dream become a reality. In addition to all of those mentioned, I want to re-emphasize the support from the Hillsborough County Commission for their early and strong support of the Heart Institute project. President Genshaft, Mr. Bennett, Mr. Mayor, Dean Lockwood, Dr. Liggett, and many, many others who brought this dream to reality. Well done. Combining the building of a state-of-the-art heart institute with an eminent medical school will indeed transform USF, the downtown community, and be felt throughout the entire region. By creating a critical mass of cardiovascular researchers and clinicians close to both Camels and one of the country's busiest cardiac services at Tampa General, the Heart Institute will help fill a critical need that's been lacking in a metropolitan area of this size, a nationally prominent cardiovascular service. This integrated facility will help recruit top cardiovascular researchers and clinicians, support translational and clinical research in order to advance public health, increase NIH funding. It will elevate truly the level of cardiovascular care throughout the Tampa Bay region, providing a world-class program that leads to new and more effective treatments for heart disease for generations to come. Thank you very much.
Okay, so now we come to the end of this celebration where we will all have a chance to move over to see the great sand sculpture of USF Health and the signage that will be where the building will occur. And I'd like to ask all of the speakers and Mr. and Mrs. Morsani to join us over at the sand sculptures. 3. Woo!